The problem is people are the top performers, or the people who are trying really, really hard, they're at 90%. Most people are like 50 or 60, right? But the top performers are putting in full commitment, they're at 90%. But the complete surrendering is 100. There's another story. It's like going to church, people going to church. Let's say they're really dedicated to God. Awesome. And they go to church, at least once or twice a week. They fit God in, they make it work, right? They pray every day. For intents and purposes, they're committed. They have a faith. How cool is that? It's beautiful. But then the next level, like that's the 90%, the 100% is these people who are missionaries. This is complete. This is something they just fit into their life. They go out knocking on doors. It's snowing out there, so I'm on a mission. Who cares? It's 30 degrees out there. Okay, still knocking on doors. This is not a maybe and if. This is just I'm full in. That's the difference from someone to go to church or someone who's a missionary. So we have to move into that missionary thing with this whole self-mastery thing, brother. It's that full thing, right? At best, you'll be at 90%. At your best. The 10% is the key, is you actually have to hand over Neal to God. Neal can take you to the very best, to the best of Neal. That's your 90%. That's where you'll be performing at your best, you're consistent, everything's great, right? So let's say you doing well in the program, which you have been, well, I said when you're inconsistent, but when you're into that flow, everything's cool. That would be 90%. And if you can string along that for a little while, that'd be really cool. Still not good enough, because you'll limit out. Where you'll max out is at your self-image. Wherever your self-image is, God's plan for you is way, way higher. Did you see?
Yeah, I understand, yes.
So how it sort of works is this, is like, so my prayer in the morning goes something like this, bro. I think I've explained it, but I'll pay to maybe do it again. It's
oh yeah. What are you going to tell me something again, are you?
Yeah, maybe. But probably it's only about the 5th time, so it's not much. But
it's still fresh.
So the prayer goes something like this. Dear God, thank you for today. Thank you for organizing every minute of every hour. This day is not mine. This day is yours. I hand myself over completely to you. I am so grateful for every sacred moment you have organized. It is not their words. It is not their decision. It is you moving them in or out of my life. Whatever you want for me today, I want it to. Regardless if my mind agrees with it, or regardless if I understand it. In my core, in my being, I want exactly what you have prepared for me. And I am grateful, regardless of the illusion. I am grateful for every moment. I don't want it another way. I want it the way that you have organized for me. Thank you. Amen. Something like that, right? Something like that. So then I start off my day, and this is the most beautiful thing. I don't hear people talking to me. That's not just this is God organizing them into or out of my life. That's it. He may organize them out of my life, but how it comes across that complete twat, right? It's just like, well, you're a complete twat, I'll just move on. But it's not personal. Like Tiki, it's not personal. But he's obviously not in alignment. He actually messaged me the other day.
You're right.
After he said, you know that he wanted a refund and stuff, right?
No, I didn't know that.
So I got a message the other weekend. It's just like, hey, Steve, I'm leaving the program. Okay, why? What's going on? Then we had and then he sent me a message. I said, well, let's have a call. But before I got that message, he sent me another message. Goes, oh, by the way, can I get a refund? I said, okay. Anyway, so we had a chat, and I said, why do you want to go? And he goes, oh, I've got this other coach and program. I said, okay, well, enjoy that. I said, why do you want a refund? He goes, oh, because, we've talked about once or twice with new people, they can ask for a refund. Yeah, that's if they've done the 100 days and the world hasn't changed. Right? That's for new people who've signed that thing. You didn't sign it. But your world's changed, right? Like, you've doubled your income. He goes, I've nearly tripled. Okay. I saved your relationship, right? He goes, yeah. And you're looking your best shape. Yeah. So why would you not want me to receive the money that I obviously gave help you with? He goes, there's just some misunderstanding. No, I'm okay. Cool. Hey, good luck with you going, and I'll see you later. And I said, just keep the payments going, right? I get a call the next day. I said to him, by the way, if any stage you want to pay off the balance, you get 25% off the balance. He gives me, we're talking about some things. And he goes, we're talking about somebody. And I said, a lot of times there's people, they don't honor their agreement. And a lot of times I just can't be bothered chasing bad money. It's just it's an ugly feeling, I'm going after it. So that happens. That sort of a comment came up and I just told him something. Anyway, he took that as the next day he goes, that's what I said. He goes, hey, Steve, instead of doing the weekly payments, can I just pay you the whole thing? I said, of course, and you get 25% off. He goes, well, I haven't got all the money, but when I do get the money, I promise I'll pay you. I said, well, you can pay it in full or you can just keep paying it, right? Because it's just this amount a week. And so you choose which option. Then I get another text. He goes, look, I've considered what you've said, and I've just decided that I'm not going to pay. I'm just going to move on.
Fucking hell.
So I just said, oh, well then, I'll just see you in court. Small claims court, you'll get served within the next few days. And then he goes, oh, why would you do that? You gave me the option of not paying. I didn't give you the option of not paying. I told you I don't like going after people who owe me money. So he thought that by doing that, he wouldn't have to pay. So I said to him, you're so lost that you'll be okay ripping me off because I might not come after you. Like that's where your morals are. So I said, it's so sad to realize that you're like this, but this is just who you are. I said, pay the money, don't pay the money. But in your particular case, I will pursue it. And he literally said, well, because I have to pay it, I'll pay it then. A few days later, I get this text saying, hey, Steve, guess what? I'm moving into a penthouse. I owe it all to you. I'm so happy. I sent him a message. I'm glad you're getting a penthouse. Do not message me. I have no interest in you. You ruined this relationship. I want nothing to do with you. Fascinating.
Man, that just makes me feel sick. Like,
That's
that makes me feel sick. Like, I was like, how old is he?
20s.
Stupid boy. Stupid boy.
Yeah.
You have no,
Everything I did, I looked after you. Every step of the way, I kept my promise. But this is how you're. I got it. So be it. So that's the deal, right? But this is the key.
The moral of the story.
He can't be in my life.
Yeah.
Right. But they don't understand. Like it's like this. One of the people, they lost their job yesterday, messaged me this morning. And this is the key part. And the person said, I lost my job, but it's okay. It doesn't faze me. So I messaged her back and I said, and she's got very strong faith in God. And I messaged her back and I said, look, it's really good. It doesn't faze you, but you've got it quite wrong. When you've handed your day over to God, what you're really saying is, this is bad. I can translate what you said. This is not good. When I read it, this is not good, but I'm okay with the shit you're giving me, God. And hopefully, if I be a good enough person, I end up getting my goals. That's why you said this doesn't faze me, because you're perceiving it as something bad. I perceive it as something sacred. When I say I want it this way, if God is organizing you out of this work, and the way he organizes it is for you to get fired or that there's no more work, then what's bad about it? Why would you say it's not phased? That sounds like you don't like it, which obviously you don't. You're not receiving it. When I say before the next month turns up, I want it, because God has organized this for me. And why would I say, God gives me a gift and I go, okay, cool. Well, imagine God giving you a gift and go, oh, well, thank you. It doesn't really faze me, but I'll deal with this. It doesn't sound grateful. It doesn't sound like you got a gift. It sounds like you got punished, right? The whole perception of it is off. And so you still want it your way. And I said to her, this whole thing is an illusion. The physical world is illusion. And I'll ask you too, what does the word illusion mean to you? You say, what's the definition of illusion?
Illusion means it doesn't mean it's fake. It just means it isn't what it appears.
It looks this way, but it's actually this way. So you lose your job, but greater opportunity came along that you wouldn't even look for, you wouldn't have gone into if you had the job. So losing the job got you something better, right? So it's sort of like that. And I said to her, I understand this whole thing's an illusion. I really get it. I'm also okay with my mind misperceiving it. I'm okay with my mind trying to scurry around and work it all out. It's okay. If that happens, it's okay. It doesn't even happen as much because I think it's because I'm okay with it, right? And I said, so the illusion is this is bad. I get it. But before all of this has turned up, I already know it's an illusion. I already know it's perfect for me. I know that everything in my life statement is now a given. This is God's stuff. This is not my stuff. This is God's role. Right? So I just do my stuff. All of this other things, it goes all that happens along the path. And I'm trying to tell God, you got it wrong. I'm trying to say, this is not okay. Right? I said the first step's off. When you said you handed over to God, you hadn't handed over to God. You hadn't even got close to handing over to God. Right? Handing over to God means you experience the presence of God each moment. It means when that person says, it's time for you to go this way, what you're really hearing is God saying, I want you to go this way. And you go, yes, yes. All right? So when Teki says that, what I hear is God saying, I'm not supposed to be in your life, Steve. Cool, got it. It's not personal. Why would it be personal? They're not speaking to me. They're not making decisions. It's God organizing this person. So I get to be that person in this life statement and how we bring it all together. It's like this. Bob Proctor told me this. One of the first things he told me was a formula. One of the other guys mentioned it, so I thought, oh, might as well tell him as well. It's the formula is be, do, and have. And Bob explained it this way. He goes, be the man that would have the gold. So now in our language, be the man of the life statement. Be that guy. So be, do, and have. So be that guy. Do what he would do. So in other words, respond like him, act like him, move like him, do what he would do. So be and do. So if you be and do this person, this is the cool part. The cool part. What about the have part? Like, how do you get it? How do you receive it? The have part is not your role. That's God's part. That's the cool part. The be and do, that's our stuff. The have is God's stuff. And wherever you're being and doing, God delivers. So you're being that guy trying to sort out your life. God will create problems after problems, so you can always be that guy trying to sort out your life. You're the guy trying to hit your goals. He'll make sure you never quite reach it. So you're always that guy trying to hit your goals. Right? You're being that powerful guy in the life statement. He'll create a world that matches your life statement. That's it. So the be and do is us. The have is God's role. But what do? We go play God's role. Okay, because how do I get it? I have to do this. I have to move someone. I have to convince this person to say yes. Right? You're messing with God. The conversation has already been organized. Nothing we're going to say means anything. So I was talking to a woman there yesterday, and it ended up she'd been quite delusional, and I found that out very quickly. She said something. She's on X amount of dollars per week, quite low for the last 2 years. Run this business, pretty broke, and she wants to earn 10 times the amount every week. And I told her about the disciplines and stuff like that. She liked it all, but she definitely was not going to do the wake up early. She goes, I don't have to do that. I like my life. I like my lifestyle. I said, no, well, you're broke. So if that's the lifestyle you like, then you're on track. I said, by that 10 times thing, it's never going to happen, just so you know. How can it happen when your way is proving your way, which is we move in consistently, like the things that you normally do is producing this normal result. Anyway, we had a chat. She goes, no, actually, I really think I want to do this program of yours. And we kept chatting about it. Anyway, we ran out of time. I said, look, I've only got 3 minutes left. I'm not convinced. She goes, what? She goes, no, I want to do it. I said, no, I'm not convinced because the energy is not quite right. I think you like the idea of it. The program is designed to break you down, to break and expose all of your weaknesses, right? So you have to be at that point where you're just like, oh, I love the outcome of it. You have to love the whole process of it. And I don't feel that quite in you. I said, look, I might be wrong. So I'll tell you what, we don't have time now, but book in a call tomorrow. And she did it in front of me. I said, cool. And actually, she did it within a few minutes later. And I said, if you change your mind prior to, just send me an email and let's have a chat tomorrow. If you don't change your mind, then we'll just see whether truly it's in alignment. But it's not going to be easy. In fact, it's going to be the hardest thing you do in your life. So I got the email, and the email was, hey, thanks, Steve. Really nice meeting you. Look, we don't see things the same way, but I really enjoyed our conversation. And well, I'm not going to do the program, so there's no need for us to meet. But I do believe that God will give me my dreams anyway. And I just wrote back, cool. Great. So that's like saying, I'm not going to go to the gym, but God's going to give me the physique anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that. The most fascinating thing about all of this, brother, was so cool, was when she was talking, my whole thing was to respond as that guy, not to change her mind. So important that you understand that. I'm saying what I was saying because that's what this guy would say. That's in my life statement. That's all. I got to be this guy in the life statement, not to change your mind. There's no thing. It's just like, well, that's God. It's already organized. Right? Imagine if I get a low frequency person out of sheer force, I force them into my thing. If I force them, then I become low frequency, just so you know. Then she would be attracted to me. So then she would come in and then I'd have a nightmare. Right? That's because I'm forcing someone who's not supposed to be in my life. And so the key part was I was being and doing this guy. Right? And as I keep being and doing this guy, obviously this world must manifest because that's God's own laws. God delivers exact. God can never break her own rules. It's the law of how the physical world operates. And so I know all that. So why am I going to get involved in this conversation? Why do I have any interest in changing her mind or influence her when God's already organized what's going to happen in this conversation? Do you see?
I do see, Steve.
And I want this conversation exactly as God has organized. It changes everything, bro. One last story. Talking to Summer, she's got herself a new little car, everything's cool. Got into the desert, lights turned off, car wouldn't turn back on, middle of the night, no lights. And she, okay, geez. She went to panic, but then she recovered quickly. She goes, you know what? And she read her lifestyle and she goes, what's the use in crying? This woman wouldn't cry. She'll just get on with it. So she just drove home with no lights. And she prayed to God for protection. And nobody stopped in all of that. I said, cool. I said, let me explain this. If you've already handed over your day to God, then the lights going out is supposed to happen. You praying for protection implies that something could happen that's not supposed to happen. Like, is there someone above God? Is there someone or something operating outside of these laws? Right? What are you praying for protection for? Is God not organized today, like you said? The whole thing's off, which shows it was always off. So when you said you handed it over, you hadn't handed it over. So all these little things show where it is, because you'll just be completely experiencing the presence of God. That's how this moment feels. That's how it feels to me anyway. the details of this moment, it's just that's the illusion part. That's the hoo part, just like, but that's where everybody is. So therefore, wherever their energy is, they are. And wherever you are, you react from. And no matter how good, there'll always be some sort of reaction. But that reaction ends up being the total opposite of their frequency, because I was only a small reaction. It wasn't that. Your energy is revealed where your energy is.
Mm.
You don't like this. You don't think it's happening in the right way. Right? And I said, where my energy is it doesn't matter what happens, because obviously it's already organized anyway. I just get to be this guy. So if something great happens, cool. But I'm already experiencing God, so nothing can add to that. So I'm not going to be so excited like a 10-year-old girl giggling. Here, Steve, here's 100K. Yeah, I'm so happy. It's like, it's just, I'm already in bliss. They can't add to me. I'm already happy. And if something appears not to be bad, that's where I really get to be in joy, because now I get to respond as this guy. Because when things are going great, of course, it's good, easy to be happy and excited or whatever, right? And to appear to be powerful. But your power is revealed when the illusion goes the opposite way. And so when they say something and your mind goes, oh, well, what the fuck's going on here? And you can see all of it play itself out. And you go, I want this. Thank you, God. Thank you so much. And now you get to move and speak. And as this guy in the life state, you get to move, not to change the situation. You're not trying to fix it up. You just get, and this is why you react, because where you react is where your energy is. So you're reacting or responding as the guy in your life statement, not to change the thing. That's why the thing can't affect me, because I'm not trying to change it. I'm not interested. That's God's thing. If God doesn't want this for me, it's because there's a very good reason. It doesn't change any of my goals. It changes nothing. In fact, this is how it's going to be delivered. This is the way. This isn't a detour. This isn't a delay. This is the way. I don't care. I don't understand it. In fact, it's even funnier when I don't understand it. And once you've done it a few times, the whole thing is just it's pathetically funny. Just like, oh, here we go. And it's just like, but in an exciting way, like, here we go, cool. I can see how it looks terrible. Ooh, I don't fall for the illusion. I want it. Thank you for the show. Thank you for the show, God. Thank you how all of this is organized so beautiful. Because this is now his way. Do you see that complete surrendering that has to happen? It's that moving from that commitment level to that total surrendering, Oh,
Yeah, I experienced that. That's like, I'm going to move back up there and I'm going to save her. And she was like, don't come back up here. I don't want you to come back up here because I know you're going to know this doesn't feel right. I don't like this desperate energy. And I didn't like it and it hurt. But I went, well, that's God's words coming out of her. That's the path. So be it. And then I woke up this morning and I felt like felt sick in the guts, and I didn't like it, but I knew, I'm like, well, I've got to be here. And then I just done the process, hour by hour, and then now I'm just feeling fantastic and so grateful that I'm down here, and like just little things that happen, right? Like, here's another example that happened today. So I took him down to the pawnbroker guy to go and sell my rings. And, I was like, whatever he's going to give me, he's going to give me. And he goes, rightio, that'll be $995 I'll give you for all those. And the first thought was, oh, I want more than that. And I thought, well, who cares? That's what it is. And $995. And then in my wallet, I just had a $5 note. And I went, oh, that's perfect. There's my month's rent. You know what I mean? Like, that little tiny, like, it happened to be $995 cash, because I pay cash, and there happened to be a $5. The only note in my wallet was a $5 note. Made it perfect. So I get it, Steve. I get it, and that's my focus, is knowing when I don't like it, and not trying to change the fact that I don't like it. Just seeing that my mind doesn't like it.
That's what the mind does. It's the mind's part of the illusion.
Yeah, and not going, oh, this it's okay, and then seeing myself going, oh well, this is okay. I'm okay with whatever happened. Like
Yeah.
seeing the resistance.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, that's resistance. It's
yeah,
disguised as like, oh, cool, like you're agreeing with it. No, you're putting up with it.
yeah. That's just another thought. That's just
Like,
another
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
yeah.
And when you see it, you can relax because you've wanted all these thoughts. Whatever thought's supposed to happen, I want it. No thought's random. This is all to be seen, right? And when you move like that, it's like people are trying. Let's get this, bro. It's like there are truly between 40 and 50 trillion, not billion, not million, trillion reactions a second. This is how this infinite conscious intelligence works in our body. Every second is organizing all of this. It teaches every bird how to build a nest without any bird nest university, right? It's organizing everything. So we don't get it. We think, okay, so I'm going to work this out. That's why there's an old joke that goes, if you want to make God laugh, tell her your plans. You know?
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't have the burden. So get this, so you can hear it really clearly. I don't have the burden of decision. It's not like that for me. It's just that's my lifestyle, and so that has to happen because I'm the guy. So that's all cool. And that part of it, the me being the guy, that part of it is just such a small part of it. The major part of it is in being that guy in this moment, I get to experience God, not the illusion. That's the most beautiful thing. I can feel it happening. I can feel it all moving. And people, okay, so should I stay here or go there? Okay, I'm going to go here. Why are you deciding? Just breathe and relax. The path just opens up. You get a signal. People go, look, you shouldn't come because of this. You go, well, I'm not coming. That's my sign. Something just happens, right? So I don't go, it's just like, I'm not trying to connect the dots so I can get that life. That life has to happen because I'm the guy. That's a given. It's like such a minor thing. But now, how I get to live my life is the major thing. I get to experience God moving everything. I just don't have any burden. I'm finally in alignment. I don't experience resistance. Do you hear me? I don't have that, which I had my entire life. And so like person goes like that, going, I want you to say that, but I told you you're complete dick, Steve. Stop wanting you to say, brother. You know, this is the deal. It has to be said. Person's taking advantage. Sure. Take advantage. I move. That's the only sign I'm getting. It's just reading through the illusion. Right? And as I move, this is how that's just God saying, move left now. Cool, keep going, go straight, turn right now. Cool, keep going, keep going. I don't ask where will I be in 10 minutes. I don't have to decide any of this. Right? This is the place where God wants me because this is where I am. So this is where I want to be completely and fully. I don't want to be in any location where God doesn't want me. So where does God want me? Here, now. It's am I here now? Am I experiencing presence? Or am the guy down here, trying to get my goal? Fascinating, eh, brother?
Oh, so fascinating. And that's where all my attention is on that last statement that you made is God wants me here, but am I here?
Yeah.
That sums up everything that I've been trying to get over the last month, you know?
Yeah.
That's it right there.
You got it, bro. You got it.
That's beautiful, eh?
I know we didn't talk about the coaching, but this
Who gives
is
a fuck?
quite high in importance that you really understand this, which will obviously transform because your coaching will have that agenda that you said, you know, the agenda of helping someone and doing all this. Of course, that's just the mind stuff. What's wrong with that? Right? We watch our thoughts every day, so we're just watching this. It's just like we forget that this is the mind isn't us. You know, it's almost like imagine if you didn't hear it. It's just like there was a screen you held up all the time, and you had to watch it, and it just all the thoughts go, that's funny. You could just turn away from it, right? Look at that. But for us, go, oh, why am I doing this? Okay, yes, this is bad. It's just like, well, you don't have to agree with any of it in the sense that it's all part of the illusion. It's actually perfect, right? This moment is so perfect. Everything is so perfect. And it's just like people not experiencing God. But get this, brother, you will never be closer to God than here and now. But the thought makes it appear that we're distant.
Wow.
And that's the whole illusion. That's the whole awakening. And now we're busy playing Steve in Steve's life, with Steve's relationships and Steve's stuff. Are you seeing, bro? Are you seeing this?
I see it, bro. I see it. And every day I just gather more evidence and see it more and more, and just come into that, as you say, every hour more and more, staying in that attention, in that fucking energy more and more progressively. And that's the only thing I care about now. It's the only fucking thing I care about, man. Because I know that it's the only thing that matters.
It is. So with that hourly thing I sent you, that you got the spreadsheet?
Yeah. I just wanted to see it because I got my own one that I made up myself. I just wanted to just cross correlate them, but it's exactly the same process.
So the color coding, I love the color coding. You have to be like savagely honest so that you're real about it.
Yeah.
Green, not only is it being their guy, but it's experienced this moment as God organizing it. So you're not actually experiencing the stuff in the moment, you're experiencing God organizing it. That gets you a green. You're in great flow state, everything's happening, feeling really powerful. You're almost the guy in the life cycle you think you are. Cool, that's a yellow. That's not a green. A green is experiencing God, right? That's the whole deal. And if you look back, so then my alarm goes off, and like I read my life statement throughout the day. I don't read it every hour by any means, but when the alarm goes off, that's the big part. It's just that check-in, like, did I experience the last hour? Like, how was it, right? And often it was yellow because I felt quite powerful, but that's not green.
Yeah.
That's just Steve 90%, but at 100% there is no Steve. So the 100% is the key here. So yellow was really powerful and all that. Orange is experiencing a bit of resistance. And then red is I'm really reactive. It's just I'm stressed out or something. And so if in the last hour I wasn't a green, I just go back to what happened and I just redo that hour in my head. And I see what happened. I was just involved in a few thoughts. I just got a bit distracted. Maybe I'm feeling really powerful. But Steve was there feeling powerful. Steve was driving it. Steve was working things out. I was the guy within the thoughts. And so I just rehearsed that hour, just revisit it. And then I relive that hour quickly in my head as that guy. And now it's like, I keep it as a yellow, but in my being, it's just like, cool, now there's a green because I just redid it. Right? And so whether I get a green or not, I'm going to rehearse until I do. And then I get better at it. Then eventually I start having a few greens. Then comes after maybe a few weeks or a week or two, a whole day of green. Then within a few weeks, there's back-to-back days where you're experiencing life so differently. Within a month, you will not be the same person. You will have no issues with consistency. It's just that it's sort of like changing your nappy stage, right? It really is, because it's just like it's still the old person fighting the person that level. That would be sort of like in the orange level, where you're just like, yeah, there's a little bit of a fight, but you're on top of things, right? You're on top of things. And yellow is you high performing. Yellow is you're doing so well, but green has handed it over. So yellow would be a person going to church, doing the prayers every day, really, really dedicate themselves to God, go to church 2 or 3 times a week, fine. Green is the missionary. He hasn't squeezed God into his life. His life is only about God. You know, the yellow would be the guy handing out his CVs to a whole bunch of people tomorrow, going through next week, and definitely knowing that they're going to get a job and making phone calls, stuff like that. Green would be the person who is operating under the mindset is, I get $100,000 today if I get a job today, but only today. And so today I will get a job. Not I'm going to give it a try, not I'm hitting our CVs, all of that. What are you doing? I don't care, I'm getting a job. He's not locked into a plan. He's locked into the end. You know, he is fully committed. He's fully surrendered. So the green is the green. And the green is a little bit rare, but it can become quite common quite quickly. But you'll see it because you'll see whether you're just into your thoughts or you're separated from everything.
Yeah.
Okay with all this?
Yeah, bro. That's my focus is the 17th discipline and fucking green. That's at the forefront of my mind. Those two things, because I know that as you said to me a few weeks back, well, that's the key to everything. That's the key to everything.
It is.
Just those two things: 17th discipline and green, and that's what I do. And I just run the same thing. I just use the numbers, fucking 1 to 5. 1 is broken word. 2 is reactive. 3 is disciplined, like, you know, I'm doing things, I'm doing it right. 4 is powerful, and then 5 is surrender. So
yeah. So that's when there's no Neal, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm glad you clarified that. Yeah, the surrender is no Neal.
Yeah. Jim Carrey said it. He said, and they laughed. He wasn't laughing. You watch the YouTube clip. He's an audience, and they're talking about his sort of like his spirituality. He goes, I got the role of Jim Carrey, and I really appreciate it. I'm really glad I got that role. He goes, but I'm no longer Jim Carrey. He goes on to explain it a little bit. He goes, before, I was like Jim Carrey trying to connect with the universe. But now I'm the universe experiencing Jim Carrey. That is so profound.
That is so fucking
Even laughed
profound.
at it. I thought, oh, that's funny. He wasn't joking. That was one of the most profound things. And because he said it, like he wasn't acting, he wasn't quoting, that was just his realization. If they're ready, they would experience presence right there, the presence of God in that moment. But they missed it. The audience missed it.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome, eh?
Yeah.
That's the answer. That's the answer to everything right
there. Yeah. That's it, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So this is a really important video. I might share it if you're okay with that.
Yeah, perfectly fine. Super powerful video.
And I might, you can share it too. So I'll send you the link, of course, so you got it. But feel free to share it because it's an important step. Because that step from, like, I'm going for it, just so you know, the one that's going for it is the problem. That's the whole thing, right? But we have to build up the person so they can have a level of discipline. And then we have to create a powerful being, but then that powerful being has to let go. That's the whole process, eh?
Yep. Like you said there, it's not me trying to connect with the universe. That's the fucking illusion there. And that's everything that blocks. What do you mean? Like it's like beyond there even being a connection. How can a singular unit have a connection with itself? There's nothing to connect to because it is one.
It's the wave wanting a relationship with the ocean. But
It is the ocean.
Yeah. The ocean. Because you've separated yourself. And the wave can never be closer to the ocean than here and now. Because the wave is the ocean projected as a wave. That's what you are. That's what I am. I'm not connected to God. You are not connected to God. You are God projected as Neal. That's the deal. But what we're doing, we got it mixed up. So what happens is we experience Neal. It's like it's been twisted. We experience everything through the filter of Neal. There's these thoughts. And what we do is a separation process, this whole turning around. And then you're going to get to watch Neal. So then obviously you're not Neal. You're the awareness watching Neal. What is the awareness? God. So when I say you're not the thought, you're the awareness in which thoughts appear. Another way to say it is you're not the thought. You're the awareness in which the thought appear. You're not the thought. You're God, in which Neal appears. And then when we move, we separate from Neal to here. You'll see Neal. Neal's cool. Not overly important. The goals are cool. They're like not overly important, but they happen anyway, right? They happen perfectly. But experiencing God in this moment, when it happens, when it truly happens, any material thing doesn't come close to it. That's why they're almost insignificant, but they're enjoyable along the way for the character Neal. But it all must be given up. Everything must be submitted. Your attention, your energy. There can be no lust. Lust is a redirection of energy, right? That's where it is. You know? Anything that triggers lust, all of those music, anything, film, the whole thing is just like those certain films or things. No, that's just going to keep me involved in Neal. It's going to make Neal more real, more physical. I will feel more physical, so I'll have more physical desires. It's just like, it's not that these are wrong. It's just that traps you in the illusion, right? And so these are just, they become very surface things. They're just these extra little things happening in front of you. But they have, I actually, obviously no power, you know? But if you give it attention, if you believe in Neal, then you'll succumb to all of Neal's weaknesses. And you always will. There'll always be a point where Neal breaks. Because that's Neal, you know? So, yeah. What a profound shift, eh, brother?
Oh, man. I tell you what, I'm so happy to be alive. I'm so happy to be alive, Steve. That's incredible, man. That's, yeah. What a day. What an amazing day.
What an amazing day. How lucky are we, eh, brother? How lucky
are we? So lucky. So lucky. Man.
This is where that room you're in, it is now sacred. But do you experience it like if you were to go into a holy temple? And I don't know if you've been into a holy place, it can be quite amazing. Like, oh, what makes it sacred? Was people saying it was sacred. They vibrated their energy. Their energy is now in that place. Right. So when you go into like real estate agents will know this, when you go to a place where there's a lot of arguments, it feels yuck. And they'll say any real estate agent been around for a little while, go, no, this wasn't a very nice place. This wasn't a happy home. Right? Because I feel it. It's obvious to them. And so when you go to a holy place, I've been to a couple of holy, like actual holy places, you just go, oh, jeez. Yeah, just like it hits me, right? Like something really sacred is here. And that's because people vibrated the sacred place there. And so it leaves its thing, it leaves its energy there. So is that how this room where you are feels? Right? This is the deep thing, right? This is the whole thing. It's not like, oh, like there's the presence of God. It's like you can't get there with your mind. You can't decide to be there. The only thing you can do is you can decide to let go and then hand it over to God. That is the key part. And when this stuff really starts to happen, this peace will just come over you. You can't earn it. That's why you can check every hour. And you may think you'll go to a few greens, and that's all cool. But there will come a moment where you'll hit a point and you're going, what was that? And it just envelops you. That's it.
Mm.
It's like a click almost. You know? It's like you've moved. You just see things differently. You're a good brother?
Yeah, that says it here. We're always trying to get there with our minds.
Yeah, but we're here now.
Yeah, like the trying to get there with the mind is the very thing.
Trying to get there is that thought that blocks us from realizing what we are.
Wow.
All right, my bro. I better go. Much love.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. Much love, Steve.
Bye-bye.
Send me the replay straight up.
Oh, I'll give me a few hours.
Yeah,
Nah.
I'll give you another 3 years.